What going, YouTube, man? It's your boy Smalls and coming at y'all Buzz with another video, man. And today, as y'all can see, we are reacting to why Spurs versus Thunder looks different now. Now, last night when I was looking at this video, the title was a little different, but they changed it. But obviously, as y'all seen, dang, my string's so long, bro. Oh, I'm talking about my pants string. Spurs put that belt. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on me to be here. I gotta be here. Never done for us. Truly, thank you, Jesus, man. I hope y'all, I hope your boys had a great Memorial Day, had some good eats, and are having a great day today. I'm recording this on the day after Memorial Day on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also live on Twitch. Shout out to my dog LP, as y'all seen when he literally just typed up in the chat. Come over to the Twitch. Stop playing games, bro. You know what to do, bro. Like, let's not act dumb. Look, brother, let's see how the Spurs put that belt.
After falling behind 2-1.
Bro, did y'all see the script though? The script literally got leaked this morning on the NBA store. Hold on, I gotta show y'all before I begin the video. In this part, obviously it's gone now. They took it off. In this part right here, literally under the finals bound, it said Oklahoma City Thunder.
Spurs responded in game.
So I better see the Spurs win, bro. They probably finna make that call to the refs or somebody.
Win only days after it seemed like they
probably why they told Dylan Harper to get hurt. Make that call.
Changed? Did the Spurs catch a lucky break, or did head coach Mitch Johnson and his staff make all the right adjustments and suddenly flip the series?
No, they just unscripted the game.
In today's video brought to you by Prize Picks, we're gonna break down everything. On the first play of the game, OKC emptied the wings to run a 1-5 pick and roll. Wemby guards the ball, shows his length, and lets Isaiah Hartenstein roll into his patented push shot, which was a lot different.
Before, I don't know if he's gonna say it. I did realize though, I don't think they're doubling like that.
We're seeing before. In game 1, Wemby sat back in deep.
They were just helping,
playing in between the ball and the roll to take away the paint from both, which buys Castle time to recover and force Shea into a tough look. Because
like in games 1 and 2 and 3, they were like sending the double. You know what I'm saying?
Shea's gonna turn the corner and attack that space, while Hartenstein rolls right into Wemby to set a Gortat screen and create a lane. Help has to come from the perimeter, and Wallace is left with a wide open 3. It was the exact same thing in isolation. Hartenstein makes sure he gets in between Wemby and the ball and essentially plays offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he's good for. He's good for being an O-line and a push shot. Shout out to Jonathan Ogden.
As a scorer, it gave him deeper access to the paint, which meant their best shooters could move into open space, play off the catch, and get the Spurs into rotation more consistently. To open game 4, we saw a shift in Wemby's approach. He's not going to let Hartenstein get in between him and the ball. Then when a screen is set, he's going to completely prioritize Shea first, not letting him turn the corner and find open space. That meant his pickup point was a little bit higher. Instead of a deep drop, he was closer to the level of the screen and a higher drop. And it was only when Shea picked up his dribble or ran into traffic that he'd recover to get a hand up on the roll. Here's another example. Hartenstein sets a screen near half court and Wemby's up at the 3-point line.
Smart, smart. He parks directly. Why were they doing that at first? Low key, I feel like that would just make sense to even do anyway. Because why would you give SGA space to mingle around in the mid-range, bro?
In front of that driving lane, not trying to cover both at the same time. Castle recovers, so Wemby gets back to the roll, and iHeart has to sneak it up over his contest. The Thunder kept going back to it. Like clockwork, Shea turns the corner, runs into Wemby, has nowhere to go, and uses Hartenstein as a scoring outlet. But he's not a volume scorer. He can hit the push shot. It's not
Hartenstein as your main scorer at the moment, which they did, brother. That's how you know you could.
In less than 5 minutes, he had already attempted 6 of them. Not exactly the ideal shot diet they're looking for. So in the second half, Shea tried to get more aggressive, coming off of screens and hunting for his own shot. Wemby just didn't let him, sliding his feet and using his length to completely take away the paint. Because Wemby's up a bit higher, picking up the ball at the 3-point line, Shea tried to use his speed to get downhill, but he just couldn't find a way to consistently beat the drop cut.
I did catch that jump. Bro, you talking about on De'Aaron Fox, bro? When this man shot that little midi and just straight up fell, bro? Yes, I
consistently beat the drop coverage. No. When the Thunder went to their 5-out lineups, we saw
that
another
foul just blew me,
instead of matching.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, they should do something about that, bro. The players should get like some sort of consequence for flopping like that, bro. Or the ref for calling that dumb. Like, it just, stuff like that, bro, can just ruin momentum, bro. Luckily, at that exact time, like, it wasn't that big, obviously, because they blew him out, but like, stuff like that can ruin a game, bro.
Whoever was in the weak side corner. In the first 3 games, a big part of their strategy was to put Wemby on Caruso, then let him freely roam away to protect the paint. They were comfortable leaving Caruso on an island and letting him take as many shots
Well,
as he
for
wanted.
SGA, it's
The
for
problem was
free.
that he
If
got
that's ever,
unconsciously
if that's
hot.
even a thing
He
now.
was attempting 10 threes every 36 minutes and making 61% of them. 21 points
That's
a
gonna
game.
make you lose
That's
ball
what he was
games,
giving
I'm not gonna lie.
OKC as a result of the way he was being guarded. They also used him to attack Wemby. He set plenty of high ball screens, knowing that Wemby would drop back and leave him all by himself on the pop. More importantly though, remember, that's when he was in a deeper drop, so Shea could turn the corner, attack him in space, and go right at him to create a
I don't
shot
know
for
why they
himself
would
in
have
the
start up. I ain't lie. That's how you know. I ain't gonna lie. There is the thing that I was saying how Coach Pop is dang near the coach, bro. Or he's giving Miss Johnson the sauce. Because this man, Greg Pop, apparently after every game, he go in the locker room. This man talking to all the players. Man, De'Aaron Fox said after they lost, I think it was a game 3, man, Coach Pop, Greg Pop, the legend, stormed in the locker room, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was going crazy. I knew something was up. Because the Spurs super nice, but the kind of adjustments that's being made, like, I don't think Miss Johnson will be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, he hasn't been coaching for that long. And 2, I don't think he's that good to be making this whole nother approach, that sauce that we're seeing. This man, the Spurs cheat. Well, I love it. I want him to win. But Greg Pop, but that's cheating, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not even fair. I mean, it's fair, obviously, but like, shout out Greg Pop, man.
In Game 4,
it is
Wemby
Adam
still
Silver's
found
fault, bro. He
himself
wants the
on
NBA to
Caruso
be
at
weak.
times, but only when he was in the corner. By switching matchups behind the play to keep him low, he was always underneath the basket, which creates a couple of advantages.
I will say though,
For
there is
one,
some times where I'm surprised they didn't call a foul for SGA.
he's no longer forced
I'll
to
say
defend the
that
primary
I will.
action, so you don't run the risk of him getting pulled up to the ball. The bigger advantage,
Especially
though,
on
is that
Castle.
because
You
he's
know
always
Castle
low,
aggressive.
he's always in position to help at the rim. The Thunder tried to attack this by putting Jared McCain in the weak side corner. It's harder to help when you've got an elite shooter to worry about.
But they just rotate.
Wemby's ground
guards
coverage
it too.
is so elite, though. He can help in the paint and still get a hand up on a 3. The Spurs simply trusted
Gives you
him to
9 foot.
execute. He was put in a position to make reads, and he did a great job of recognizing when to help, when to stay home. Then if McCain tried to drive, he could move his feet to protect the
Yeah,
paint
exactly.
without needing
Like,
extra help.
Jared McCain don't want to score. Wemby, that one layup was lucky, baby.
Create advantages off the catch. All that's to say, it didn't matter who OKC put in the corner. He stayed low. He was always in position to help in the ball and protect the paint. Meanwhile, the Spurs also switched up how they brought help from other spots on the court, going with an entirely different approach against Shea. Before we get into that,
Current intern coach.
I want to take a second to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video.
Bro.
If you know you can,
I mean, you might as well say that's what he is, bro. At this point, I mean, I'm sure he's doing some stuff, obviously, but like we all know Greg Pop got his hand in
for the Spurs to
probably
open the series was keeping
everything.
Shea away from the middle of the floor. Anytime he tried to play one-on-one, he was staring down a wall of defenders. The idea was to get the ball out of his hands and force the other guys to beat them, which OKC did by attacking them with their spacing.
That is true,
By
though.
putting
Coach
your
Pop
best
will
shooter
definitely still
one
be
pass
coaching.
away, deep on the wing.
He's a
it's
heat
tough
of the
to bring
game,
help
bro.
to the middle of the floor without conceding a high percentage opportunity. For the most part, that meant starting Shea up top, flattening the baseline, and putting Jared McCain on the opposite wing. Once Shea draws help to the middle and kicks it to McCain, he demands a closeout, then he's skilled enough with the ball to attack the paint and create off the catch. By simply aligning the floor in a certain way, it became
they were
nearly
seeing the doubles,
impossible
bro.
for the Spurs to converge on Shea
Straight
without
up
giving up a
building
great
the wall.
shot every time down. They tried zones, double teams. He made the right plays and the other guys took advantage. One way they did that was by attacking the middle of the floor with their movement. Because they know 2 are going to go to Shea up top, Caruso slips into a little pocket of space near the free throw line.
And I ain't lie, I ain't lie, every hooper knows this, bro. Once you get the ball right here, gang, especially if you got shooters in both corners, bro, the possession's over, bro. They scored, bro. Unless they just miss an open shot, but it's cooked. Like this right here, bro, it's just free pick'ems, gang. You can't do nothing about it, bro. You're done.
That's easy team offense. And we saw a lot of it in Game 3. The Spurs load up early, then Caruso floats to the middle of the floor to connect the offense.
And then it's
this
over.
time he sets up a dribble handoff for McCain.
See, I ain't like Caruso, but he could have easily just turned around and shot this Sean, bro.
This time he sets up a dribble handoff for McCain.
But I mean, I guess that works too.
Kicks it cross court,
I mean, you got
and
3
Williams is once again
and
left
1,
with a
so.
great look. This all comes back to their spacing. They've got their best shooter in the strong side corner, their second best creator 1 pass away on the opposite wing, and their best finisher on the weak side. When Shea draws 2 and gets the ball to Caruso in the middle, there's no way to bring help without risking a complete breakdown. So in game 4, they switched it up. Instead of loading up on Shea early, they'd wait for him to start his drive, then have the closest help defender stunt at the ball before recovering to the 3-point line.
Smart.
There's no
see that's Greg Pop LP in YouTube. That is Greg Popovich right there.
Dumper. No big opening to attack. The role guys had to create their own separation on drives and move the ball, which they didn't have much success doing. The goal on San Antonio's side was to still clog Shea's space without being forced to pick a poison. By stunting at the ball on drives, he might pick up his dribble early, but nobody's open. Take this play for example. Shea starts to attack the middle of the floor and Vassell stunts at the ball to turn him away, only for Castle to immediately stunt from the opposite direction and pick up a deflection while Wemby rotates.
Oh my gosh, bro. Shout out Greg Pop, man. Just look at these adjustments, bro. Basketball is a game of chess, not checkers. If I think I said it right. Yeah, it's a game of chess, not checkers. Beautiful. High IQ switch. Analyzation here. Ball.
In the opposite corner to not let Williams get an open 3. They've taken away Shea's drive.
They just keep rotating,
funneling the ball out of his hands to an open man. For the most part, it felt like OKC's best option was to clear as much space as possible for Shea to play from the middle of the floor, to which the Spurs would do everything in their power to make him win over the top of their shell. This is very similar to what the Mavs did against him in 2024. They packed the paint, made it tough for him to get to the nail without putting 2 on the ball, then made him beat them as a middle of the floor shot maker.
Dang, he fried him, bro.
Series, scoring 32 points a game on 60% true shooting.
Dang.
But it wasn't quite enough to will his team to victory.
I mean, yeah, because they don't have... The Mavs didn't have defense, like, as a team, they're not nowhere near as good defensively as the Spurs, which they won the series.
There were plenty of reasons. One, though, was that this style of defense took his teammates out of the half-court offense, at times forcing him to be the entire offense by himself. That's what the Spurs did in game 4. Instead of anybody but Shea, it was don't let Shea.
The Spurs can execute that better than the Mavs, obviously, because they're a far better team and their defense is way better.
Firstly, they have Victor Wembanyama. As long as they keep him low and he's always at the basket, Shea's going to be turned away from the idea of driving, by default settling for further and further shots. Secondly, they have Stephon Castle, who played Shea individually about as well as you possibly can. That started away from the ball. He was physical and staying attached to his body through every action to avoid.
This is where the refs can really screw. This is where the refs can really just. This is how you know it's scripted. If they start calling, I'm not saying Castle don't be fouling, but if they start calling a whole lot of petty fouls, bro, on Castle that they weren't calling the last game, that's how you know it's scripted, bro. Because obviously, bro, they gonna get touchy. They gonna get physical. You know what I'm saying? And if they start calling the stupid, extremely petty fouls, that's how you know it's scripted, bro. Just like that, bro. I'm calling it right now.
Then it's almost like he was built in a lab to pressure the ball. And
yes, literally, LP, literally.
Shadow, which especially stood out when Shea played the point. He was meeting him in the backcourt, pressing up and being physical. See,
like, low key, the ref could call that. The ref, I promise you today, watch the ref call something like this. Look, this right here.
Pressing up.
Like, they could call that extremely petty foul right there. And that's going to change the whole... That's just going to change the game, bro. Because refs calling that petty stuff. I'm calling it right now.
Not only is he super quick, allowing him to cut off different angles, he's strong enough to absorb bumps, and most importantly, has
like LP, it's gonna be crazy,
meaning
bro.
He can stick with all of Shea's moves while remaining perfectly on balance with the size and length to contest a jump.
If that shit would have failed, that might be a foul.
Despite playing a style of defense that forces Shea to get his game off, he didn't. He had just 19 points, shot 6 of 15 from the field, and turned the ball over 4 times. Remember, that was without the Spurs forcing the ball out of his hands. They weren't overcommitting and funneling passes.
Because they have great defenders like Castle.
They guarded everybody. Forced role players to create their own offense.
Everybody can play
which is really where the absence of Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell became a major issue for the Thunder. Those are their best creators outside of Shea. They're often relied on to set up the offense or even create advantages from a standstill against more extreme coverages, like what the Spurs have been showing to OKC. Without them, other guys were forced to play out of role, handling the ball and initiating more than they used to. That played a role in the Thunder racking up 20 turnovers, their most in a game from this entire season. When it came to the other guys, the Spurs' approach was simple. By keeping Wemby low, they weren't worried about mismatches and switched everything across the board to keep a body in front of the ball.
I just love the defense, man. I'm loving
their
it.
best shooters get open off of screens. That's not to say the Thunder didn't get any open threes. They got their fair share and couldn't make any of them. Anytime a team shoots 18% from 3, some type of luck is involved. Sometimes you just go cold and they couldn't buy a bucket. However, the shot quality is what's important. Instead of getting a bunch of open spot-ups, they were forced to shoot over closeouts.
It's because the role players knew they're going to get open shots, bro, so they can shoot in rhythm. If you can shoot in rhythm compared to not being able to consistently be in rhythm, that's just a whole other thing right there. That's what happened, bro. That's what happens when you don't automatically know that you're going to be getting left wide open. That's probably why Caruso was hitting on them threes, bro, because he can be in rhythm the whole time. Because they're not going to guard him.
Which takes me back to
that's probably the only reason why he was saying that much. Anybody can shoot in rhythm knowing they're going to be left open.
It's going to come from his shot making. Game 5 in OKC is a huge opportunity for him. Can he navigate the stunts, high drop coverage, and find a way to push this offense over the top? He didn't in Game 4. The Spurs held them to 82 points, blew them out to even the series at 2 games apiece. And it was the definition of a defensive masterclass. Remember when I said that Caruso had been averaging 21 points a game and killing them from 3? He only attempted 1 shot in Game 4. 1 shot. Jared McCain, Cason Wallace, and Jalen Williams, who had all been X factors to start the series, were complete non-factors. Overall, their bench scoring was night and day. After dropping 76 in Game 3 and actually winning OKC the game, they scored just 34 points in Game 4. Less than half. Between that and Shea's lack of production, the team didn't score. Heading into the conference finals, they had a playoff offensive rating of 128.3. 15 points better than average and one of the best we've ever seen through 2 rounds. The Spurs did a great job of holding them in Game 1. Then they exploded in Games 2 and 3, seemingly figuring things out. Only for the Spurs to hold them to by far their worst offensive performance of the season.
Y'all even cracked 85, 90? Y'all
in Game 4. Plenty of factors played into that. Mitchell and J-Dub's injuries, a cold shooting night. But at its core, this game was about the Spurs making all of the right adjustments, and for the first time, the Thunder not having the counters. They turned the ball over. They couldn't create clean looks from 3.
Saying Hartenstein sucks so bad.
And most importantly, Shea didn't deliver as a shot maker. The only question left to ask is, who takes control in a pivotal Game 5?
If it's not scripted, the Thunder... Hey! If you did say the line to end the video better, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, great. What's your day? In Jesus' name, you know what I'm saying? If it's not scripted once again, Spurs in 6, maybe 7. Shadow LP. We out of John, baby.